blessed beings. Welcome to another A Course in Miracles lesson number 31. I am not the victim of the world I see. Today's idea is the introduction to your declaration of release. Again, the idea should be applied to both the world you see without and the world you see within. In applying the idea, we will use a form of practice that will be used more and more, with changes to be indicated. Generally speaking, the form includes two aspects. One in which you apply the idea on a more sustained basis, and the other consisting of frequent applications of the idea throughout the day. The two longer periods of practice with the idea for today are needed, one in the morning and one at night. 3 to 5 minutes for each of them is recommended. During that time, look about you slowly while repeating the idea 2 or 3 times. Then close your eyes and apply the same idea to your inner world. You will escape from both together, for the inner is the cause of the outer. As you survey your inner world, merely let whatever thoughts cross your mind come into your awareness, each to be considered for a moment and then replaced by the next. Try not to establish any sort of hierarchy among them. Watch them come and go as dispassionately as possible. Do not dwell on any one in particular, but try to let the stream move on evenly and calmly, without any special investment on your part. As you sit and quietly watch your thoughts, repeat today's ideas slowly to yourself, as often as you care to, but with no sense of hurry. In addition, repeat the idea for today as often as possible during the day. Remind yourself that you are making a declaration of independence in the name of your own freedom. And in your freedom lies the freedom of the world. That's definitely worth repeating, guys. In addition, repeat the idea for today as often as possible during the day. Remind yourself that you are making a declaration of independence in the name of your own freedom, and in your freedom lies the freedom of the world. The idea for today is a particularly useful one to use as a response to any form of temptation. It is a declaration that you will not yield to it and put yourself in voluntary bondage. Okay, so after you've done your first session with lesson 31, please join me for Jesus commentary. Might be easier to show you on the tablet. So lesson 31. Hope you can see that. Oh, it's moved. Lesson 31. I am not the victim of the world I see. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one you know as Jesus. This is a lesson I taught to my disciples while on the cross. That is what I was teaching them. That I am not a victim of the world as you see it. In that great lesson, that great teaching, learning opportunity, many of those beings who followed me could not assimilate the lesson. They could not believe that I was not being victimized, that I was not suffering. I was standing firm in my elevated consciousness above the battleground, and I knew, even though it was a great challenge, a great act of discipline on my part, that I did not need to suffer. My mind could assess the situation accurately and choose to move through that experience without the pain, suffering, and despair of the martyr. That is not what I was doing, and that is why it has been so hard for you to understand in your society. It was an extremely sophisticated lesson for the beings who were in front of me. This lesson was not designed for the world necessarily, although it has become so. In the time and place when I was in the physical incarnation that you know as Jesus, I was teaching my students. I taught them and showed them my abilities to overcome the physical, material world, and that, indeed, I was not being victimized. I chose to go through a very dramatic teaching, learning experience for their benefit. However, only a couple of those disciples integrated that information into their minds. But that is okay. One mind changed is enough. One mind healed is enough. One mind in alignment with truth is more powerful than 10,000 minds in fear, cowering in the corner, afraid to stand up and be counted. Do not allow yourself to be victimized by your beliefs. You are not a victim of the world you see. It is a reflection of your consciousness, rushing toward you in order for you to understand what is going on inside of you. If it seems to attack you, look where you attack yourself or others. Examine where you attack principles, ideas, politicians, countries, creeds, or money. Whatever you attack, know that it will reflect back to you in a world that seems to attack you. We heal your mind from the deepest levels with these teachings, and we want you to know that it brings great love to you. Many of you feel that now, a month into this gathering together. You are going to see that you are not so quick to judge or attack, that perhaps you open a door for someone when before you would have charged through. Perhaps you find yourself sitting quietly, contemplating ideas because you have decided to give yourself space to do the lessons, and after the lessons, you enjoy sitting in your armchair with the radio, phone, and television off. You find that being with yourself is much more agreeable because the mind you are experiencing has calmed down a little bit. It is not so fractious. That's the word. We love you very much, and we will be here with you every single day. Every day we nudge this being and she knows this is her assignment this year. So do not despair. If you miss a lesson, do your forgiveness practice and make it up as soon as you can. We will speak to you again tomorrow. Thank you. Namaste.